So the title of that video was labeled, "Where is Joaquin Phoenix?" I couldn't have labeled it any better. Now, whether that interview was a stunt or not, I don't know. What I do know is that he is definitely using pseudo-listening in that interview. As our book states, pseudo-listening is pretending to listen. We appear attentive, but our minds go off somewhere else. We use pseudo-listening when communication bores us, but we have to appear engaged at the time. As Mr. Phoenix does in the video, Dave is trying to interview him, and obviously he's on television, so Joaquin has to act like he is engaged, but clearly he isn't. There are some funny quips from both members in the video, but it's apparent that it's a one-sided conversation. Anybody can pick that up. Who knew that pretending to listen while not paying actual attention could get so many others' attention and gain a lot of publicity out of it? And maybe that's what this whole thing was about. Who knows? I just thought it was a great video to explain pseudo-listening. As for my own experience, I can definitely say that I use pseudo-listening from time to time. I'm sure everybody does. Think about class lectures, sometimes at work. It can be real tough to remain attentive at all times. Think about when we daydream. Our mind goes somewhere else, and if we're forced to be listening to someone else, we just put our eyes forward and shake our head yes, and unfortunately our mind is not at the same place. This can lead to trouble, though, especially if we have to be listening for important content. Think about a job, or a specific class lecture, or points on they're going to be labeled on a test. Obviously when I think of class lectures, I always zoom back into reality during class when an instructor says, "And pay attention because this is going to be on the test." Well, that gets you out of your pseudo-listening realm for a little bit. But yes, pseudo-listening overall, it can lead you to trouble. So it's best to try not to do it. We can learn to break this cycle, for one, by actually listening. Like I said, it's always not the easiest thing to do. If the content doesn't strike your fancy, maybe focus on other things that maybe nonverbal cues that the speaker is using, their hands, or if you're in a class and you're droning out, maybe focus on if the teacher's writing on the blackboard or the whiteboard, focus on that. Focus on your notes. I know that I'm a auditory listener, so I know that if I'm not looking at something, I can still pay attention if I'm writing notes or whatever. There's many ways we can learn to not pseudo-listen, but sometimes it's unavoidable. So, well, we're going to move on to the next topic, and I hope you enjoy.